hear the term coaching calls a lot, and I know that sounds scary, I think sometimes, but really all a coaching call is just helping her work through an issue and often helping her find her own answers. And so when you're talking to one of your consultants who maybe is struggling with party bookings, maybe her bookings just are not there. So you want to ask yourself, what does this consultant need? She needs to get some more party bookings. So what resource can I lead her to help with that? Here is a huge epiphany I had, you guys. I used to feel like I had to be the resource and know everything. And when I would talk to my consultants, I had to be the one who had all this wealth of information to impart on them. And that was my job. And it was kind of overwhelming. And it also was dumb because, hello, there's a lot of consultants. I'm good at a couple things, but there's a lot of consultants that are a lot better than I am on a lot of stuff. And so once I learned the trick of, this is one of my own coaches that taught me this, lead them to a resource, lead them to an expert to help them find their answers and help them, hone those skills, and then circle back with them. So she needs help with bookings. What resource can I lead her to help her with getting bookings? Well, Heather Pello has something called Bookings 911. It is training all about bookings on YouTube. So I might say, okay, here's your assignment, which is part number 3. I'm going to have you go and watch Heather Pello's Bookings 911 webinar and write 3 takeaways of things you're going to implement to help with the bookings department. And then let's talk whenever, next week, 2 weeks, 1 month, whatever your time frame is. And then we'll circle back on that and see how things are going for you. So that's something, again, to keep in mind when you're working with your consultant. Start thinking about what resources you have in your back pocket. And if you need some help on that, I have a huge library of resources. Another example could be someone who really wants to increase their party sales and needs some help in the shopping room. Well, here's a challenge for you. Go to the Consultant Online office, find Corinne Kincherf's webinar on being brave in the shopping room, watch it, write down 3 takeaways, and then let's connect next week or 2 weeks or whenever, and we'll talk about what you're implementing from that. So there you go. I think that when you think of it that way, when you're working with your consultants versus feeling like you have to know everything about everything, guide them to resources and let those do the teaching for you. And then your job as a sponsor, again, is going to be to connect the dots for them, to provide some accountability, some additional insights. Don't put all the pressure on yourself to feel like you have to know everything. Another resource I'm using a ton right now with consultants is Belinda Ellsworth, Direct Sales for Dummies. Oh my gosh, you guys, she has like hundreds of dollars of training in that book. I've spent hundreds of dollars of training on her stuff, or hundreds of dollars on her training stuff that is in that book. So that's one that I'm having consultants that I'm working with. I'm like, oh, pick up this book, look up this chapter, blah, 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 and then let's connect. So just another tip on how to work with your existing consultants on this whole thing that we call coaching that I think can feel overwhelming and really doesn't need to be. So I think that's it. This is kind of a short one.